Hi there and welcome back to my channel. It's Carol here and today is Easter Sunday. I just went for a nice long hike up the mountain. Can you see? Here, can you see? The mountain is right there. It just goes straight up. And so it's like climbing stairs all the way up. It's a good heart pumping workout. I love it. I do it like several times a month. I also do CrossFit. This week I went to CrossFit 4 days, but I love getting outside. I love being in nature. It's really walking outside and just walking in general. It's really good for my mental health. I mean, it's like a necessity. I have been feeling depressed lately, and you know, I guess it makes sense, but the way I get when I'm depressed is I isolate myself. I don't feel motivated to do any of the things on my to-do list, and yeah, and I cry a lot. So that's been my week for me. I'm just lonely is what it is. I'm lonely, and it's all good. It's okay. If you've been following me, you know my husband passed away last year, and so I am alone. You know, I no longer have him. We were together over 30 years, and it's been an adjustment. I set my life up in a way to where I would not have to be alone. I never wanted to be alone. You know, there were times in our marriage, we were together for many years since we were young kids, and there were times in our marriage where we had to ask ourselves respectively over 30 years, you know, you hit rough patches and you ask yourself, you know, is this worth fighting for? Or, you know, could I do better, you know, with someone else, or just being alone? Or, you know, you get frustrated with people. And I always came back to remembering why I fell in love with him, remembering the aspects of him, who he was when I fell in love with him, how he is on the inside, his you know, the core of his being. And I always came back to, this is the man I want to spend the rest of my life with. I want to be with him when I'm old. You know, we're going through a little season right now. That's all these circumstances that are happening. Having 2 stressful jobs, raising twins, you know, all the things, dealing with, you know, other issues. That's just a season we're going through right now. But when I look to my future, this is the man I want to get old with. So I was always committed to our marriage, and so was he. Sorry, I'm just being real with you guys. I hope this isn't a very happy Easter post, but this is how I'm feeling. And I'm sure that a lot of you can relate to loneliness. I mean, I have to do everything alone now, which is, you know, it's that I'm not the only widow. You know, I know that a lot of people are in a similar situation. A lot of people, you know, lost a loved one, or maybe got a divorce, or, you know, loneliness is a thing, and you kind of feel it more on holidays, right? The thing that's been hard for me this week is that I have been in charge of doing all the man things. Now, please don't get offended by this. I had the luxury of having a man in my life that did all the yard stuff, all the car stuff. He coached all the kids' sports teams. He was a very hands-on husband and father. He took care of all like home repairs. I mean, I did a lot of appliance repairs just because I am really good at figuring that kind of stuff out. I also tiled our kitchen floor. I mean, so, you know, I do some things, and I do most of the housework, like all of it. I mean, but now I do absolutely 100% everything. And I'm trying to get my boys to be more involved in that, but their schedules are very busy too. And I'm the type of person that just, it's easier to do it myself, that's gonna have to change. But my husband always handled all the car stuff, and we have had nothing but car issues this past 6 months, from trying to get a transmission in the boys' car. I bought a car for my boys, and the transmission went out instantly, so I had to try and find a transmission from California and have it shipped out here, and find somebody to put it in. And I almost got ripped off. There was a guy on the mainland that I purchased a transmission from him, and then for $1,400, and then found out that there was no transmission. So I had to call the credit card and cancel that. But he was going to rip me off, you know. And then this week, I finally got my car back from the shop. I was in an accident on February 2nd. Finally got my car back on Tuesday, and I looked at the car. I inspected the car because I had a copy of the estimate that the shop wrote to the insurance company. The insurance company approved it, paid for all the repairs, including a muffler and tailpipe, because my tailpipe is bent and the muffler is jacked up from the accident. It's such a severe impact to the rear end. So I looked underneath the car and noticed that we still had my old bent up tailpipe and my jacked up muffler on there. But I know that the insurance company paid them $1,000 for a new exhaust system. But they never ordered the parts or put them on my car, thinking that I wouldn't notice, and they kept that money for themselves. And so I had to have a showdown with all these shop dudes in the middle of their shop, and just me saying, this is wrong. This is insurance fraud. And I demanded that they give me the money, the $1,000 that they were paid to repair my exhaust, and I would go take my car elsewhere. So they tried to intimidate me. They tried to, and I just kept thinking this would never happen to John. It just sucks being a woman sometimes. There are vultures out there, and I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to start thinking that men are evil. I know there's a lot of good men out there, and I'm a very trusting person, and I choose to trust people until they give me a reason not to. But lately I've just been feeling like people are out to get me. I'm really having a pity party here, aren't I? But anyway, so yes, I am lonely. Yesterday, the boys had the day off school. It was Saturday. So I woke them up and I said, hey, let's go to the waterfalls. Let's go do something. And they said they had plans with their friends. Of course, they're 18 years old, they have plans with their friends. So I'm like, wow, okay. I have so many busy things and so much work and so much chores I could be doing, but I just wanted to blow off some steam and just take the day off. But it's just lame not having my partner to, my go-to guy. But we are strong. We can do hard things. That's been my mantra since John died. And everything's going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. My friend invited me to start paddling next week, which is like outrigger canoe paddling. It's like a thing here. I've always wanted to try it. The practice starts at 5 a.m. and they are out on the water. So you get to see the sunrise from the ocean, and I'm not doing anything at 5 a.m. So I'm going to do it. I'm signing up and doing it. And, you get to go and do races together, and it'll just be nice. It'll be getting me outside more frequently, which is one of my goals, and meeting new people. So there, see, I'm doing what it takes to get out of this funk. Got outside today. Anyway, if you guys are feeling lonely, just know that you're not alone, and try to make some steps, even though it's super hard, to push forward. Join up with something, meet some people, join a club, join a group. You got to do something about it. And this feeling like men are out to get me, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Everybody I've talked to is like, yeah, you need to keep your guard up, and there are evil people out there, and I don't like to think that way. But I constantly feel like there are people out there that are trying to take advantage of me and rip me off lately, and I've been having to set my boundaries and stand up for myself way more than I would like to. So hopefully we're done with that, and I can find some good, decent human beings in the near future. But this is my season of setting my boundaries and standing up for myself, I guess. So I didn't back down, and I did it. It was just shaking. I was so mad in that office, and the guy was actually got up and got in my face and was slamming stuff around on his desk and everything, and had called all the other shop guys in and was like, look at her, she wants all the money. And I'm like, yeah, he offered to split the insurance money with me. I was like, no. And then, yeah, it was a horrible situation. The insurance company said there's nothing they can do about it. I reported him to them, and they said, yeah, you're on your own. Sorry. So whatever. I'm on my own. I know that 100%. And I'm going to be okay. But I have been feeling lonely lately. So thank you for listening to my rant. Maybe I'll show you some clips of the brunch that we make. My boys, I'm making them chocolate stuffed French toast. That's what they wanted. My son sent me a TikTok of this, and so I'm gonna make it for them. And I'm making a vegan quiche for me and Mom. We're also gonna have some roasted potatoes and maybe some mimosas. So it's gonna be good. And I made little Easter baskets for the boys because I'm just a sucker for them. And I know they're 18, but they're getting Easter baskets as long as they live with me. Anyway, I will catch up with you guys later. Hi there and welcome back. Well, I went on that amazing hike. That was so nice. And thank you so much for listening to me ramble on about my issues. If any of you guys can relate, my heart goes out to you being lonely on this holiday. We're in the same club, so at least we have each other. I am going to make a frittata. I've never made this. I've made tons of frittatas, but I usually make them with chickpea flour. I don't have any of that. I do have some yellow mung beans, and I've been making some egg patties for the kids' breakfast sandwiches in the morning. So I've been soaking these since this morning. This is just 1 cup of soaked mung beans, and it really expands once it's been soaked. I'm also gonna put a half a block of firm tofu in here. And like I said, this is an experiment. I'm gonna put some fresh ground pepper. I'm gonna put some garlic salt. And I'm gonna put a little bit of turmeric just for color. Some garlic powder. You want this to be really flavorful. Maybe a tablespoon of garlic powder, a tablespoon of onion powder. I'm gonna put about 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast just to give it like a cheesy flavor. I'm also gonna put a teaspoon of dried basil. I'm gonna blend this up. I'm probably gonna have to add some water to it. Okay, so we've got our frittata mix all done. Now I have 1 chopped onion. I'm gonna put it in the pan with 2 cloves of garlic. Get those sauteing. Then I'm gonna cut up a can of artichoke hearts in water and a bunch of mushrooms, and I'm gonna add those to the pan also. Okay, well, our Easter brunch is getting closer. This I got for my birthday from my brother and his wife. It's a La Crusette. It's my second La Crusette piece. This one is a baking dish, and it comes with a lid. I'm gonna mix it together in the bowl first. So I'm gonna add all my veggies to the bowl. This is the spinach, the mushrooms, the onions, the garlic, and the artichokes. Smells delicious. Then I'm gonna add in all of this mixture. This is the mung beans and the tofu. And I did put about a teaspoon of cornstarch in there, just because the veggies are so juicy. I wanna make sure it sets up really nice. My oven is preheated to 350. This is probably gonna take about 45 minutes. Okay, I'm just gonna fold the veggies in. This smells so good. Okay, and into the pan. Oh, this looks so amazing. I'm just gonna spread it out. And this is gonna go into the 350 oven. And I'll check it after 30 minutes and see where we're at. Looks good though. All right, here is our Easter table. And I've got the frittata. I covered it with green onions, of course, and a little bit of kala namak, the black salt. It gives it kind of an eggy flavor. I made the boys some Nutella stuffed French toast. And I have some sweet potatoes and regular potatoes mixed together. And that's about it.